Hi folks, welcome back to the Amazing Education Channel. Please like, thumbs up, and subscribe if you like the information. It's not about the video, it's about the information. Just keep that in mind. I just have my phone, so it's not going to be really amazing video, but so this is going to be a video that's going to help you out in the future. So we got to keep healthy and realize that you need to wear sunscreen, and we do have ozone in the atmosphere that is protecting us, but we increasingly put more and more chemicals into the atmosphere, and it's a problem of our modern industrial society, and it's one of the problems with science. Now, you could argue that we would be better off. There's a living without amazing technology. You could watch one of the old Star Trek movies. It was the Next Generation cast. So, gosh, maybe 10, 15 years ago or more. It was an actual movie where there was an advanced society that lived on a planet, and yet they lived in a very natural way. They were farming by hand and living simply, not with vehicles, not polluting the planet, and so on. And people were very healthy and happy. And in the story, there was a special element or energy that gave them extreme long life as well. And you could say, well, farming, living healthy, getting exercise instead of driving around, it will give longer life and maybe happier life for most people. So that's not exactly what the movie showed, but it was a hint that, we're in the wrong direction with our modern industry. And why did we do it? Well, to have children, to be able to afford children. People started driving cars, and not just children, but bigger houses and yards and so on. And so people moved to the suburbs. They got away from farms, that's true, but they started traveling longer distances each day for work instead of working right there where they lived. And so they moved out of cities, but they also moved out of farms. And so we had what's called the urban sprawl. So maybe better to say the cities expanded. And so the size of cities, along with the population, went up in an extreme way with the continued industrialization. And there were times where even rivers caught on fire in the United States. That's right. Yes, rivers with water in them caught on fire because of the oil and pollution, whatever, maybe paint and industrial chemicals that could catch on fire were just being dumped into the rivers. And I think it was even in the 1960s or 70s that this happened. So it wasn't at the time of world wars when things were, maybe a desperate situation. I think it was after that, where people just didn't take care of the environment. And we have similar situations. For example, in China, where they are the largest polluting country. And where is the manufacturing done? Well, they may be the largest country in terms of manufacturing as well. And so that's a mistake we've made, and all the chemicals that go along with the manufacturing getting into the environment really harm our health. They're in the air, and as I started off saying, you need sunscreen, but we also need a philosophical screen to get away from the polluting high technology consumer lifestyle, and we need to do that, to get rid of these high rises which cause the need for travel and the need for incredible crowded transportation systems, and get back to single story and two-story homes with yards with at least 50% natural area in any single property, so that the earth has at least 50% natural area, whereas right now it's, in terms of habitable flat ground, it's just a tiny fraction of that. We've extremely developed and altered the entire planet pretty much, with chemicals everywhere, and people know we somewhat destroyed the ozone, so you have to be careful. You need to wear sunscreen, and we've improved somewhat with that, but you still need it. You can get sunburn within 15 minutes. That's right, 15 minutes. So you really need to protect yourself. But there is one positive thing, which is for most people and most skin, after 4:30 p.m. Well, let's say when the sun is 75% down from its from the noon high, or it has just 25% left to go, maybe 20% more to go before it goes into a sunset. Well, then you don't have to worry so much, and you don't need sunscreen pretty much. And for many, many years, I have not used sunscreen. Only a few times during the day did I need the sunscreen, because I would go outside after 4 p.m. and I haven't gotten a sunburn. So, and I've been out for, maybe 1 hour at least. That's not to say you won't get any solar rays, and there are cosmic rays out there. What can you do about that? You can't do anything. But, so anyway, that's a positive way to protect your health. And besides, not using, let's get back to natural products and avoid, look, this is illegal to have a moped here. This is a public park. It's not for driving vehicles on the grass. It's illegal. They deserve a ticket. Yeah, this is just wrong. And so we got to smarten up, folks. Smarten up. Let's just, as a choice, move back to walking. Live close enough to where you work or wherever you go to school. If you go to school, live close enough that you can walk within 15 minutes. Then get rid of your vehicles, and let's get back to horses and walking, maybe bicycles, anything, any kind of non-polluting, completely renewable situation. And that doesn't include, unfortunately, electric vehicles, because of the incredible amount of mining and pollution that they create. And you can tell just that they're so expensive that a lot of resources and labor go into these vehicles. If they weren't very energy intensive and very polluting to create, they wouldn't be that expensive. And so you can just tell by the price. So if you can find something that's, a fraction of the cost, maybe the best would be a solar panel that charges your little electric scooter or electric bicycle. And I say bicycle because at least you can pedal it when the battery runs out. But still, it takes an incredible amount of mining for the resources and pollution just to make that kind of product, whether it's a bicycle or a scooter. And so still, you look at the price, it's not cheap. And just a regular bicycle is less intense. And shoes for walking, they're not expensive at all. You can get a cheap pair of flip-flops for next to nothing. And you can even go barefoot. That's right. Yes, you can. Save money, be healthy, and you're happier, if you live in a place where you can go barefoot because it's clean enough, and you don't have pieces of metal and glass strewn about, well, you're a lucky person. You can live barefoot, healthy and happy, just like the old days. So you may have heard that modern people are not as healthy as past generations, and it seems that it's true because we don't get enough exercise, we don't ride the bikes. We've arranged our lives around these high rises in many cases, and living in this kind of situation, it means you don't have yard work, you're not taking care of trimming bushes and growing vegetables, which gives you health not only when you eat the vegetables, but when you exercise, creating a garden and digging and planting and weeding. And of course, don't use chemicals. You can plan don't do the monoculture of planting just one kind of plants. You need to diversify and so protect against predators, using other plants instead of harmful chemicals that are frankly going to poison you and could give you when I say poison, I mean just slow effects over time that can be harmful to your health and probably cause cancer later in life or other problems. And we do have an increase in many diseases, including cancer. And people say, well, we don't know why. Well, it could be all the plastics that we use, all the soda that we drink from the plastic bottles, and the technology that we use instead of moving our bodies. We're just playing with technology. A lot of gamers have terrible health, low motivation, low grades, low earnings, and not as happy as previous generations because they're just playing with technology. And you can do some virtual reality and move your body, but it's not the same as sports, really. It's not like going out there and swimming. No, it's not. The sensations are not the same. The level of exercise is not the same. So don't fool yourself that you're doing really healthy things. It's maybe somewhat healthy, maybe, but it's also expensive. It can hurt your vision and cause other physical troubles because it's not natural. We haven't evolved as human beings. Now, some of you, everybody's different, so it might not be true for you. So this is not medical advice, but just as a generality, exercise is good for most people. Eating healthy and natural, fresh, clean air, water, food is healthy for most people. Not having chemical pesticides and herbicides and fertilizers in your food is healthy for most people, just about everybody. And chances are, since we do eat so many of the harmful chemicals, that even if it's in small doses, and you could say, well, it's even less than natural chemicals in food. Well, that may be true, but we could be adding, so it might be almost double because we've got the natural chemicals and pesticides, herbicides, whatever they are, the natural defenses of plants and animals, and then we're adding to them. And what we're adding to them might not be equivalent to natural ones. It could be much more harmful. So even if the dose is smaller, the damage could be 1,000 times as much with these industrial modern chemicals. And so if you're a chemist, maybe you should change your job if you're causing chemicals that are getting out into the environment. You might want to work for environmental protection and don't spread the idea that we're doing a good job. And you city planners and people out there that have developed our society where we can't walk to work because of zoning, can't walk to school, it's too far away, to the grocery store and whatnot, and we have single family houses for miles, and then you need to expend a lot of energy in terms of transportation by bus or bike or car. Well, maybe motorcycle. Bike is not too bad, but anyway, it's just too far. Everything is too spread out, and it's causing terrible pollution, terrible stress because of the expense and what we need to do to earn the money. And so that's also hurting our health. So we got to turn these things around, everybody, and rethink our lives and live closer to what we need and save money. It's going to save us money and save our lives. Okay, thanks for listening. Take care.